Hi there, welcome to my channel. It's me. Today we are going to talk about how to make an herbal tea that will help you to stop having nighttime cramps, especially if you have leg cramps, or you get these cramps in your calves when you're sleeping. It's something very common that happens with a lot of people, but you don't need to suffer from it. So today I'm going to show you what to do. Okay? Alright, let's dive into the topic. There are 3 main herbs that can be used to stop cramping. And the first one that I want to talk about is this herb right here, and it's called cramp bark. Now, cramp bark is not just for athletes. A lot of times we think that, oh, this is only for athletes to use it to reduce the cramping. But it works really well for sleep-related cramping as well. So, cramp bark. It has a really interesting name, so you know it's going to work for cramping. So this is one of the main ingredients that we're going to put in our tea. The second herb that we're going to put in our tea is valerian root. Now, valerian root is a nerve relaxer. Okay, so it helps to calm down the nerves, and that's why it's great for anxiety, stress, nervous tension. But also it's great for cramping because, like I said before, a lot of times the cramps, they come from that nervous tension. So by relaxing the nerves, valerian root is going to help you to relax the muscles and reduce those cramps. Now, the third ingredient that we're going to put in our tea is peppermint leaves. Peppermint leaves, they have a relaxing effect on the smooth muscles, and they have an anti-inflammatory effect as well. So peppermint is good for a lot of things, but also is really good for reducing cramping. Okay, so these are our 3 main ingredients that we're going to put in our tea. There are other ingredients that you can add to enhance the flavor of the tea, make it taste better. One of them is ginger. You can use fresh ginger, or you can use ground ginger. In this case, I'm using ground ginger. The amount that I'm using is 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. Now, ginger is good for circulation. Okay, so it's going to help to improve blood circulation. It's going to help to reduce inflammation as well. So overall, it's going to help to reduce the cramping. The other ingredient that we're going to put in our tea is orange peel. Okay, so in this case, I have some dried orange peel. If you have fresh oranges, you can use fresh orange peel. So the amount that I'm using is 1 tablespoon of dried orange peel. But if you're using fresh, you want to use about 2 tablespoons of fresh orange peel. Now, orange peel has a lot of vitamin C, which is good to strengthen the capillaries, okay, the small blood vessels. And the flavonoids that are in the orange peel are good to strengthen the veins as well. So that's another thing that's going to help to reduce the cramping. All right, now we're ready to prepare the tea. The amount of water that I'm using is 4 cups of water, and you can use more or less depending on the amount of tea that you want to make. So I'm putting the water in my pot, then I'm bringing the water to a boil. Once the water boils, then I'm going to turn the heat off. And the next thing that I am going to do is I am going to start putting my ingredients in a tea strainer. Okay, so I'm putting all the ingredients in the tea strainer. The tea strainer is gone. Allow me to infuse all the flavors from the ingredients into the water. But at the same, it's gone. Allow me to remove the ingredients from the water once the steeping time is finished. So after putting all the ingredients in the tea strainer, I'm going to start my timing. The steeping time for this tea is 15 minutes. So I'm going to steep this tea for 15 minutes. Now, if you have a tea ball, you can use the tea ball as well. It doesn't matter. Just put everything in the tea ball, steep for 15 minutes. The reason why I like to use the tea strainer is because I can reuse the ingredients again. Okay, so I can make more tea with the same ingredients. All right. So I left the tea to steep for 15 minutes. I'm gonna turn the heat back on, and I'm gonna bring the tea to a boil again. Once the tea starts boiling, I'm gonna turn the heat off, and I'm gonna keep the tea warm until bedtime. The reason why I'm boiling the tea again is because I want to infuse all the flavors from the ingredients into the water. Okay, so boiling it a second time just ensures that all the flavors are infused in the water. Now, while the tea is cooling down, I'm going to show you the ingredients that we use to make this tea. So as I mentioned before, the first ingredient was cramp bark. The cramp bark that I use comes from a reputable brand. It's a brand that I trust. This was the cramp bark tea that I was taking years ago when I had cramps, okay? And it worked really well for me. So I stopped using this tea, and then I started making my own. So this is the cramp bark. I use about 2 teaspoons of cramp bark in this recipe. The next ingredient was valerian root. This is a product that contains valerian root, passion flower, and hops. They all work for calming the nerves and reducing stress and anxiety. So I use 2 teaspoons of this for this recipe. Now, as I mentioned before, The valerian root is the main ingredient in here. But the passion flower and the hops also work for reducing cramping. The third ingredient that we use was peppermint. Now I like to use fresh mint, but in this case I'm using dried mint. This is dried peppermint that I use. Duh. I use about 2 teaspoons of peppermint in this recipe. And then the other ingredients were ginger and orange peel. I showed you the amount that I use for both of these. Okay, so once the tea is completely cool, you can go ahead and drink it. Drink about half of it right before you go to bed and save the rest for later. If you wake up in the middle of the night with a cramp, or you feel like you've not have a cramp, then you drink the rest of the tea. And if you need to, you can make more tea during the night. Okay, so you can use the same ingredients over and over throughout the night. If you wake up in the morning with cramps, it's best to stretch your legs. I'm going to show you some stretches that you can do for your calves. So put your feet together and reach your toes. Hold for about 30 seconds and then switch sides. So this is going to stretch out your calf. Another stretch that you can do is sit down, put your legs up, and then rotate your legs in circles. Okay, so this is going to stretch out your calf as well. Also your hamstring and your quads. Now if you're enjoying my content, please leave me a comment below and let me know if this tea helped you to stop having cramps. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It's free. And if you're enjoying my content, please consider supporting me. The support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.